Okay, so this is the Hitachi 19U that we've got on this current site. I've rented it from Tippers Tool Hire. Really recommend them if you're in the local area and you've got a Tippers branch near you. I'd definitely check them out. Reliability and service has been great from them, always on time, and machines are always in very good condition when they arrive, always cleaned as well, so that's nice. And the tracks are always very clean as well, which is great when you're tracking up a driveway. So yeah. Starting at the front of the machine, we've got a white quick hitch on this one. Unfortunately, they are known a bit for their play. This one isn't too bad at the moment. The machine's only got a couple hundred hours on it, and it's still doing just fine for now. So yeah, hopefully that's okay. The bucket's filled with clay at the moment. It's really sticky stuff, this is. But yeah, the bucket's great. Teeth are nice and sharp, so it goes through the ground no problem. It's got these two little hooks here which go onto the bucket, so you can when you've got a grading bucket on, you can wrap the front blade around those hooks and you can pick up your buckets. There they are on there. Hammer lines on this one, hammer return lines there, and we've also got a light on this side as well. I haven't used this machine in the dark, so I'm not really sure how good that is, but it looks like a decent LED one, so shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Underneath we've also got a ram guard there on that cylinder, which is a nice feature. Protects that ram against trailers. These machines are often on small hire jobs like this, so if the operator doesn't take care of that ram, then the ram guard should do it for them. In the back there we've got all the pipes routed up the back of the arm. I guess it's a little bit different to Kubota style. On Kubota machines now, these pipes are all integrated into the arm, which I guess is good for not knocking them, but I do like having them on the outside because it's easy to replace them. It could be an issue with the Kubotas if they're a bit too tightly wrapped inside the arm. If one burst, you've got to pull them all out to figure out which one it is, or figure out how to replace it. But yeah, I've got the slew down there as well. It's got a decent angle on this. It isn't the tightest I've ever seen, but it's certainly workable. Obviously, it is a compact machine. I believe it's a reduced tail swing. It isn't quite as wide as a normal machine at the back. This one. So yeah, it's not going to be too impressive, that slew, but it's perfectly good enough for what I've needed it for. Undercarriage on this machine is pretty good. It keeps itself quite clean down there. The track motors themselves got plenty of power. I'm really impressed with those actually. Originally, when that was a little bit higher up, there was quite a slope I had to climb, and it would go up no problem at all. Even in lower revs, it would go straight up it. Around the back, got a nice compact counterweight there. Fortunately got a scratch on it, not from me, that's from another customer, but yeah, it happens to these high machines. They don't live the best life always. The blade on here is pretty good as well. It's got a nice angle on it. It doesn't get too much clogged on the back of it. I've got these extendable pieces there. You can pull this pin out and fold those back in if you're going to bring in the tracks. Yeah, they are good looking machines, I will say. Quite sleek, nice modern design. Yeah. Moving on to the cab. It's not quite as detailed as my other reviews like the Hydrodig one. There's a lot less to see here, but we'll show you what there is. So we've got this lever, or pedal, sorry, should I say. That's for your 2-speed tracking. Now normally on a lot of machines you'd have that on your dozer blade over there, but I quite like it on the floor actually. It means you can have all your concentration on what your hands are doing with a dozer blade, and you can just use your foot for the tracking. It's quite nice. Got 2 trap pedals there. These are nice. They haven't got too much movement, which is good really, because it's just, you know, nice and easy to do it all with one hand. You don't have to spread your arms out all the way just to track. So yeah, they're good. There are these little pedals here, which I presume are an attempt so you can track with your feet, but they're not really usable, to be honest. They're a bit too small. Your boots don't really fit into that gap in between the bar there, so they're not really usable, but it's nice that they're there. On the other side here we've got this. It's for your slewing of the boom, and it's got a nice little lock over that so you don't knock it accidentally, and that does work quite well. And yeah, it's all fairly responsive as well. As I said, with the tracks, they're really powerful, and these they are very responsive to those controls. So yeah, that's good. And we've also got our hammer line there, which is locked off at the moment. Right, moving up to the seat here, we've got a pretty comfy seat. It's obviously not air suspension, but it is fairly comfy. It's got some sort of spring in it that makes it move up and down when you've got weight on it. Yeah, that's good. Nicely padded as well on your back. and there's quite a bit of adjustment. You can go forward and backwards with that, and you can adjust the weight of the operator there as well. On the control pods, these are not adjustable, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously it's not going to be too much to expect on these machines. They're not quite as luxurious as some of the bigger ones. It is just a small machine at the end of the day. There is some bolts back there that I presume you could make, you could adjust them up and down maybe a little bit. But yeah, they're in a good position, so they don't really need to be moved anyway. So also on this side, we've got our key there, in position 1. This machine has got an immobiliser on it. I'm not sure if this comes as standard or it's just because it's our machine, but it's a decent system. Put the key in and you'll start. When you turn the machine off, it does last about 5 minutes before you have to put the code back in. So it's fine if you need to turn it off just for a minute to talk to someone. You don't have to put it in every time. Over on the panel over here, we've got our headlights there, beacon, some blank buttons there, I presume for some optional extras, a throttle there, and it's also got on there a little green icon of where I guess your eco zone is, so if you put it there and you're about half revs. There is quite a lot of play on that arm though there, but yeah, it's fine. Got a display there with our hours and our fuel as well. And our dozer lever there, which is good. It's not too much travel on that, so you can do it all with one arm. You can do it just with your hand and your wrist. You don't have to move your entire arm just to shift the dozer. So yeah, that's good. The seatbelt on this machine is a bit interesting. I'm not really a fan, to be honest. It hasn't got a retractable seatbelt. As you can see, it's literally just the belt bolted onto the machine. So it just kind of leaves it flopping around when you aren't using it, which is a shame really. Unfortunately, I guess it does encourage you just to wrap it around the seat and leave it plugged in, because when you start the machine there is this quite irritating beep, simply because the seatbelt's not plugged in. So yeah, I guess a lot of operators probably will just leave that plugged in and tucked behind the seat. Yeah, you've got your foldable control pod there, that's nice. A good amount of weight to it, doesn't feel cheap. Yeah, it all seems quite decent quality. Around here as well, we've got this little latch. Let's fold that over, and now this lever will adjust our tracks so they can go in and out. The machine does go quite narrow, obviously with it being a reduced swing. This piece here is a lot taller, but yeah, when you when you bring the tracks in, it does all go quite compact, so that's nice. I'll do that folded back down. Okay, at the back of the machine, I'll have a look inside the engine bay. And that latches. There's a little latch mechanism. So yeah, it is quite tight in here, but as I said, with it being a reduced tail swing, it will be tight. They've got to fit it in somehow. Access to your daily checks and stuff isn't too bad. Got your oil down there, air filters. You can see your radiator fan there. Check your fuel. And then to open the side panel, there isn't a key on the outside for that. It's just this little latch here. You've got to lift that up and then push there. And then this whole piece falls out. So you can see your rods in there, nice and easy access to blow out if you need them. A sight glass for your tank as well, that's good. Isolator key there for the battery. Yeah, pretty good. If we take the key out, we can unlock this here. This is quite nice that it's under a separate cover, but this is locked at the moment and there is a lot of movement in that, which that does make me worry that with a crowbar you could get into that quite easily. Obviously I'm not going to try it, but yeah, there's a lot of movement in that. Not sure if this is just this machine or if it's just how it is on all of them, but yeah, it's good that it's under cover anyway. It's certainly a deterrent. So yeah, and then our fuel cap's in there. Yeah, it's all nice, all quite nice. And I'm not sure if this is intentional, but we've got this rubber piece there, so then when you lean your diesel tank against the machine, it won't scratch the paint, which I noticed, which is quite good. Put that back down. Lock that. Okay, so that is the Hitachi 19U. Overall, really happy with this machine. It's a good high machine, nice and easy to operate, nothing too confusing on it, and yeah, there's plenty of power in those hydraulics. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.